crop reports to stock reports, I'm Tom Chambers with PotNetwork.tv, your source for marijuana news.
And I'm Lena Sharp. In February, the federal government released new guidelines for banks to help ease the difficulty of dealing with marijuana businesses. Under these new regulations, the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Treasury have given the okay for banks to offer their services to the legal marijuana industry. The policy still requires banks to report any suspicious financial activity they believe to be drug-related.
The new system lays out 3 tiers of suspicious activity reports banks are required to fill out for marijuana businesses. They are marijuana limited, marijuana priority, and marijuana termination. The goal of the new guidelines is to create greater transparency between banks and the federal government and to limit the burden on banks in dealing with marijuana-related financial transactions.
Despite these changes, banks are still reluctant to get involved with pot money, fearing that any such involvement on their part will lead to more trouble with the feds down the road than the business is worth. Under federal law, marijuana remains illegal, meaning that banks will continue to be at risk. Regional banks, which do not have the infrastructure to survive a battle with the feds, are not the only ones reluctant to enter the cannabis market. Top companies Bank of America and Chase have refused to entertain the idea of dealing in marijuana dollars.
This poses a continued threat to the marijuana industry. Since they must be a cash-heavy business, marijuana companies are constant victims of theft. In Colorado, where recreational marijuana is legal, private security firms and former law enforcement are being hired to protect and transport cash from marijuana businesses. The legitimate marijuana businesses are also forced to pay their taxes, licensing bills, vendors, and contractors with cash, a great hassle to everyone involved. The cash-only nature of the marijuana businesses also makes it difficult to regulate the industry.
As laws change, it's clear that this situation needs to be remedied. The current regulations are not enough to create cooperation between marijuana businesses, banks, and the federal government. More clearly defined guidelines are needed.
Up next, a Canadian medical marijuana firm recalls its product.
From crop reports to stock reports, I'm Lena Sharp with PotNetwork.tv.
And I'm Tom Chambers. We are your source for marijuana news.